Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. The Telegraph liked Robert Jobson's new book as much as we imagine Meghan likes our podcast, or some of you like to review our show. The headline, "The Princess of Wales Never Claimed to Be Perfect. This biography is ridiculous. Catherine, the Princess of Wales by Robert Jobson is grimly fawning, embarrassingly written, and devoid of insight into the real woman." 1 star. In the review, Alexander Lahman writes, "The difficulty faced by Robert Jobson's new biography of Catherine, now 42 and Princess of Wales, is that it must fill its 300-odd pages with an account of a life that has been both eventful and strangely airless. Brought up in an affluent middle-class household and privately educated at Marlborough College, Catherine met her future husband in 2001, while the pair were studying at the University of St. Andrews. The relationship briefly foundered but recovered after a reconciliation at a party. She arrived dressed as a nurse, Jobson tells us, and William made a beeline for her. Before they became engaged in 2010 and were married in 2011, they have since had 3 children. William has become heir to the throne, and if this were a fairy tale, they would be living happily ever after. Reality does not quite conform to such schemers. The Princess of Wales has continued to be one of the most discussed and photographed women in the world. She has largely avoided controversy, save what has been portrayed as an uncomfortable relationship with her sister-in-law Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Camp Sussex have levelled accusations, albeit through proxies such as the downmarket biographer Omid Scobie, that Catherine made Meghan cry during preparation for the latter's wedding, was generally cold and aloof before the Sussexes' self-exile to America, and even in a tortuous development that involved a mysteriously revelatory Dutch translation of Scobie's 2023 book Endgame, had asked what skin colour Harry and Meghan's first child was likely to have. There has never been much evidence for any of this invective or innuendo. Yet Catherine can't possibly have as composed a personality as the one we see in public. You might recall her wry smile and side eye to the now Queen during Harry and Meghan's wedding, as the American Bishop Michael Curry delivered a histrionic sermon. If there are more such human moments to share, Jobson doesn't include them here, although he does spend plenty of time on the innumerable other occasions that Catherine has been in the public eye. Were it not for the events of 2024, Jobson's book would be nothing but a desperately dull and often comically overwritten hagiography, which portrays Catherine as little less than a secular saint who was put on this earth to steady the troubled House of Windsor and to make a stuffy monarchy appear more compassionate and sensitive. Kate's publicist is earning their money with this gem from OK Magazine, quoting a source. "It's clear Charlotte feels so proud to be Kate Middleton's daughter, and she loves doing special things with her mum, like attending Wimbledon. She really seems to understand how lucky she is to have these incredible experiences." Relations between Prince Harry and King Charles have deteriorated further amid an increasingly bitter dispute over security arrangements. Sources close to King Charles accuse Harry of using emotional blackmail by suggesting that the king might never meet his grandchildren, Archie and Lilibet, unless security provisions are met. Harry, however, maintains that threats to his family's safety are genuine and that his intention is to allow his children to know their home country without imposing costs on British taxpayers. According to the Daily Beast, friends of King Charles have described Harry's actions as manipulative, claiming he is leveraging the possibility of Charles never seeing his grandchildren to force the king's hand. Harry has lost his security case in court and is now trying the emotional blackmail route to get what he wants instead, cynically using the threat of Archie and Lilibet never meeting their grandfather again as a tactic to coerce the king into overruling Ravec. One friend told the Daily Beast, "They argue that Harry's threat of acid or knife attacks are exaggerated and being used as a tactic to coerce the king. The idea that security forces are going to allow the Sussexes to be attacked by an acid-throwing or knife-wielding maniac on British soil is absurd, and Harry knows it." Conversely, a source close to Harry insists that the security concerns are legitimate, citing Harry's lifelong security risks in his military service. Prince Harry inherited a security risk at birth for life. He remains 6th in line to the throne, served 2 tours of combat duty in Afghanistan, and in recent years his family has been subjected to well-documented neo-Nazi and extremist threats. While his role within the institution has changed, his profile as a member of the royal family has not, nor has the threat to him and his family. A source tells the Mirror, "The king is absolutely committed to being present in all of his grandchildren's lives. He values family above everything, and whatever the course of his relationship with his son, he would never be content with just seeing his grandchildren on the odd video call." An insider remarked that the king could potentially overrule the security decision, but has chosen not to, possibly to prevent Harry and Meghan from establishing a rival royal presence in the UK, I think Harry needs to ask himself why Charles hasn't overruled Ravek, which, for all the insistence that he could, being the king and all. It's because the last thing the palace wants is Harry and Meghan turning up unannounced on a regular basis or setting up a rival royal court in the UK. People ran a similar story, quoting a friend of Harry's who says, "He gets unavailable right now. His calls go unanswered. He has tried to reach out about the king's health, but those calls go unanswered too." A friend claims, "The conversation has now shifted from frustration to complete silence from the king. Charles fears a repeat of the past. When his wife divorced the institution, she took the headlines, overshadowed his work, and became a global superstar. Seeing his son leave with his wife was not part of the plan." Palace Intrigue will be right back. Queen Elizabeth II's private secretary, Lord Robert Fellows, who was Princess Diana's brother-in-law and uncle of Princes Harry and William, has died aged 82. The British courtier was the late monarch's most important advisor between 1990 and 1999 during the divorces of 3 of her children and Diana's death. He helped the Queen through what she dubbed as her annus horribilis in 1992 when Charles was at war with Diana. Andrew separated from Sarah and divorced. Windsor Castle went up in flames and public opinion turned against the royals. Lord Fellows was also forced to deny bizarre claims by Harrod's owner Mohammed Al Fayed that he was involved in a conspiracy to murder his son Dodi and Diana. He married Lady Jane Spencer in 1978, the older sister of Diana, and they had 3 children, Alexander, Eleanor, and Laura, who was Princess Charlotte's godmother. In his later life, he remained an extra equerry to Elizabeth II until her death in September 2022 and was played by actor Andrew Havill in the Netflix series The Crown. The death immediately started a sideshow, with the tabloids wondering if Harry will attend the funeral. The Daily Beast wrote, "Harry's representatives were not immediately able to say whether he would attend the funeral of his uncle, a date for which has not been announced." Interestingly, no one even bothered to ask if Meghan would be attending. Possible reasons include security concerns, not having a babysitter, although one was presumably available for a recent Hamptons trip, or perhaps a recording session for her new Lemonada podcast coming out in 2025. A former friend of Harry's told the Daily Beast, "The death will be a huge blow to the Spencer family. In normal times, it would be unimaginable that Harry would not be there to support Jane. Of course, he would want to be there. It will be a huge gathering of the Spencer clan. But these are not normal times, and it may well be that everyone feels Harry's attendance would just create too much drama. It would be very sad for him if he can't make it." King Charles appeared cheerful as he arrived at Forcenard Flows, one of Scotland's natural wonders, for a special visit before starting his summer holiday in the country. Forcenard Flows, nestled in the heart of Flow Country in Forcenard, Sutherland, is a national nature reserve known for its diverse bog ecosystems. Dressed in traditional Highland attire, including a small dagger tucked in his sock and a cornflower in the lapel of his tweed jacket, King Charles unveiled a plaque to mark the area's recent designation as Scotland's 7th World Heritage Site and the 35th in Britain. With such exciting royal opportunities, it's hard to fathom why Meghan Markle prefers her Montecito lifestyle of making $2 million per podcast episode when she could be walking the bogs. A source tells Heat magazine, "Harry was watching Wimbledon and was thrilled to see Kate looking so radiant. He sent her a note to congratulate her and let her know how happy he was to see her out. He's just so grateful that she's on the mend and able to get back to her duties after taking time off." Harry then apparently remembered to add, "as is Meghan." Sure, Harry. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, or your choice of app, and leave us a review or some stars if you're enjoying the show. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.